unwillingly begins to tell the king the great tale of his troublesome travels. He explains that his first stop was at Ismaris, where him and his men stayed for greed until the Sicyones attacked them, leaving Odysseus with 6 less crewmen on each ship. He then tells of another horrid occurrence when Zeus's storm brought Odysseus' ship to the feet of the Lotus Eaters, where they all ate the fruit of the lotus and forgot all about going home. Odysseus was then forced to pry his men away from the island to return to their journey back to Ithaca. It is then that Odysseus and his men reach the land of the brutal one-eyed creature called the Cyclops. And once they get there, they begin to eat many wild goats upon the island.
Oh my god.
Yum, go!
Odysseus announces to his men,
Now me and my crew shall go upon the land and see if the strangers here are kind or cruel.
upon reaching the mainland, Odysseus took along with him a large sack of wine and his best men to explore the likes of what lived on the land. Quickly, they came upon a cave that was full of milk, cheese, and sheep. Though his crew urged Odysseus to grab some of the riches and return to the boat, he refused and decided to stay in hopes that the creature would offer gifts. It wasn't long before the creature returned back to his cave. The creature came out and asked,
Strangers, who are you? Where do you come from? Do you come for a good reason, or do you roam the seas to cause trouble?
As the creature spoke, it frightened the men, but Odysseus still made it a point to explain who they were. He calmly said,
We are from Troy, and on our way home, winds threw us off and we landed here. Thanks to Zeus. We beg you for your hospitality, as you know Zeus is friends to all strangers and helps them on their voyage.
Ruthlessly, the creature by the name of Polyphemus answered,
You must be stupid or not from around here. The Cyclops pays attention to no gods. I shall kill you. Where have you left your ship? Which shore is it at?
The Cyclops had tried to trick Odysseus, but he answered with cunning words and said,
Poseidon has wrecked our ship on the rocky shore, and only these men and I have survived.
To this, the Cyclops said nothing. Instead, he turned hostile and made a gruesome show of gobbling up one of Odysseus' men right then and there. Odysseus resists the urge of trying to kill the Cyclops, for he knew that he would be unable to move the large rock to escape the cave. Instead, he waited until the next morning, when the Cyclops would awake from his sleep. When the Cyclops awoke from his sleep, he finally left and closed the cave to tend to his sheep. It was then that Odysseus devised a plan to escape. While the Cyclops was gone, he had found, sharpened, and hardened a wooden staff with fire. It was when the Cyclops returned that the creature was offered a drink of wine, and Odysseus said,
Here, Cyclops, drink this wine as I offer it to you as a peace offering, but you are reckless. How do you expect any more guests when you have done such a thing to us?
And so the Cyclops willingly took the wine and drank it with pleasure. Asking for more, the Cyclops said,
Give me more, and tell me your name, for I will give you a gift.
3 times the Cyclops drank from the wine, and finally, when he had started to become intoxicated, Odysseus said,
You have asked me your name and I shall give it to you, as you have promised to give me a gift. My name is No Man.
Then it is No Man who I shall kill last.
It wasn't long until the Cyclops passed out from intoxication. Odysseus and his men then drove the steaming hot wooden staff into the Cyclops' one eye. Polyphemus woke up screaming, and when he called for the other Clops on the land, they arrived outside of his cave.
Why did you wake us with your screaming, Polyphemus? Is someone stealing your flock?
Polyphemus answered,
Friends, no man is attacking me.
Go. And with that, the other Cyclops left the cave. Odysseus and his men waited until morning, having come up with a plan to hide behind Polyphemus' sheep to escape. When it came time to let out all of his sheep out of his cave, he felt the backs of each one in attempts to make sure that all he was letting out were his sheep. Odysseus and his men were able to return safely back to their boats. When all the boats were seemingly safe at sea, Odysseus called out,
Cyclops, you were not meant to eat these people but suffer. Zeus and all the gods shall punish you.
Hearing this, the Cyclops began hurling enormous boulders into the sea that brought upon great waves, which forced the boats back to shore. They were able to get back to sea, but when Odysseus wanted to call out more hateful words to the Cyclops, his men tried to stop him out of fear for what Polyphemus might do. Still, because he was angry, Odysseus cried,
Cyclops, if anyone asks who blamed you, say, Odysseus, son of Laertes, who resides in Ithaca, Ghetto.
With a groan, the Cyclops replied,
It was once prophesied by Telemus that an Odysseus would make me blind, but I never expected such a meager weakling to overcome me with wine.
Go.
Nevertheless, come back, Odysseus, and let me beg my father, the land shaker, to help you along your way. No one but him can heal me.
And so Odysseus replied,
The earth shaker will never hear your eye.
The Cyclops then stretched his hands toward the sky and said,
Listen to me, Poseidon. If you are truly my father, you will give Odysseus a hard time in the future. He will lose all his crew, and may he find hard times at home.
Finishing his prayer, Poseidon heard him, and as a final act of anger, the Cyclops threw one last boulder to the ship with no effect. Odysseus and his men sailed back to the island, where the remaining members of his crewmen met them with open arms. They made sacrifices to Zeus with the sheep of the Cyclops that they had taken, and feasted upon the boats. Then Odysseus and his crew sailed on.